Good now? Okay.
We're good. What is
Why,
up?
hello there.
I missed
Hello
that
there,
intro
everyone.
so much. Stop.
There, there's like so many things that I need to add to like the actual video intro that I haven't added yet, but we're getting to that. But here we are, we're back after 3 months, finally, nonetheless. It's just really at the end of the day, means that I just need to get acclimated in the new house and, figure out what it is that we're doing with this live stream or podcast or whatever. And now we've finally figured out a day and a time, and Kat's finally available during the weekends and weekdays. So we are now live. But the question, that we all want to know, obviously, is how we feel about the Book of Boba Fett. And to be honest, I want to pass the torch off to Zach and Kat for this one because I can go on all day about how I feel.
Is that a good or bad thing?
It's good. It's good and bad. I think the synopsis is it's good and bad, but the good so far, at least for the most recent episode, far outweighs the bad.
Oh.
Let's start with you, Kat, because they know how I feel.
I was gonna say this is how it always goes. I'm the Disney shill of the clan, and then you guys can just rip it to shreds. Well, I mean, I think it's been like flipping phenomenal. I think the best part about this show is I went in not having any idea what the plot or anything was gonna be, and every episode has been like such a surprise. And I don't know, I feel like last night's episode, or whatever day it was, 2 nights ago, that was like game changing. I don't know, I feel like so much of this show has been revolutionary and like some of the best Star Wars I've ever seen. So I really don't have any complaints. I'm just like taking it week by week and enjoying it. But I think it's a different story for you guys. Based on the reviews that I've seen on your channel, Zach.
So, like, I don't hate the show. I feel like that people have the impression that I hate the show. It's just I think it could be better, and I'm always gonna call them on it. But I think we should start with some of the things we do like to start off on a positive note. Alex, what's one thing that you really like about this show so far?
That they included Din Djarin.
That's such a backhanded compliment.
I know, it really is. I was, I was actually thinking. I was looking at like our schedule for how we were gonna like go about this, and like the good and the bad. And the good is, it's almost gonna be a Last Jedi comment. It looks phenomenal from a cinematography standpoint.
No.
It's beautiful to look at. But I just have a lot of problems with how they're. I mean, in the beginning, I like the flashbacks in the beginning were great. I just wish it would have just been maybe like one episode of flashbacks, and then maybe the rest where they actually build on like the character of Boba present day, rather than kind of going back and forth. 'Cause I think there's a lot of people that are maybe confused about what's going on who aren't like avid Star Wars fans. I know that this show probably just appeals to like avid Star Wars fans, so it's probably not a problem. I just think that it's very confusing how they're cutting these episodes together, and like I guess the way it's progressed and how they were trying to get the point across about what happened to Boba and what his motivations are didn't happen until episode 4 is kind of too late for me. It was kind of boring for the most part for a lot of it. A lot of it was really cool. Oh, thanks, Obsession.
Obsession.
Much love, dude. Yeah, sorry it's been so long also. And thanks for offering to, do our special like New Year's premiere for Book of Boba. We just our schedules were all really crazy. We didn't manage to get around, but maybe someday we'll all be able to come. We'll all be able to hang out and do our thing. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I was like from my opinion, I saw it as in the beginning. I was hopeful. I was hoping that it would maybe turn into something like The Godfather of Star Wars, or just any other kind of mafia type show that could have really dove deep into that whole mantra of or character tropes of like Corleone or whatever that would have been really interesting to see. Like maybe Boba Fett has more depth to him, but this is kind of taken a different direction, and that they're trying to maybe make him seem like he's bigger than his armor or more than his armor, which is great. It's just I think the way they're doing it is very kind of boring and experimental. I'm personally not like the hugest fan of Robert Rodriguez. I guess from my viewpoint when I watched it, the moment I saw the kids with the cybernetics, I was like, oh no, they're trying to do Spy Kids, and that's what kind of like started making me, you know, not as hopeful that this was going to be a really great show. But considering only have 7 episodes and it took 4 episodes to really get to motivations, that's kind of a problem. So that's kind of how I see. There was good and bad, but the worst for me was not only the speeder bikes, but just where the whole mantra of the story of Boba Fett is really going. So
I'll give you that. I do agree. I think a 7-episode series, it definitely, they stretched, like we were still on the cusp of like, I feel like the full conflict hasn't even unraveled, or at least the conflict central to this plot line, which is this situation with the Pikes here. And as much as I did love this week's episode, I do feel like it put that on the back burner. So now it's like we're saving the final conflict for the final 2 episodes. So I do agree with you in that sense. I do love, I wish there could have been more of a balance. They really fleshed out with the flashbacks, and I love the flashbacks. I'm low-key sad that they are over, but I understand how that kind of delayed the main like issue of the show, which is how are we going to handle the Pikes, which is what we all thought was going to be the deal with this show, like the crime underworld of Tatooine and whatnot. So I relate to that. I'll give you that.
yeah, I mean, me and Zach were just talking about like the whole crime underworld and how cool it could have been, but I think that this show is almost kind of making them seem less scary and pretty dumb in a lot of respects. Like I feel like the Clone Wars did a lot of respect to the Pikes, and I mean the Pikes, you know, generally are pretty, you know, like, oh, Maul's here, you can do whatever you want, whatever. But like every other crime group kind of had an opportunity here to really shine and have some really cool dialogue and writing. But it seemed very like Boba's like, let's do this. Makes better sense. But like the whole fact that most of the crime lords didn't even think about what Boba was just saying it's a lot of it is a lot of common sense, like knowledge, and the fact that it almost seemed like revolutionary or eye-opening for a lot of them just kind of bothered me, because it just seemed like, I mean, they have like I don't know what the numbers are, but they're like probably billion-dollar mafia groups that like don't know how to think for themselves for some respects, and it just didn't seem like it worked very well for me for a lot of them. And after the episode, like when me and Zach were talking about, when we saw them kind of at the table, all talking, we just maybe assumed that there was going to be a really cool dialogue exchange between all of them. And then when we saw the Rancor, we may be hoping that the Rancor, like they just dropped them all into the pit and killed them, and Boba just takes over or something. But does it like, you know, slide a hand and just, you know, with no real emotion or reaction? That seemed like more on Boba's character. But what he did just kind of seemed weird and different. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing yet. But as far as I'm concerned, I didn't enjoy that aspect of it.
Do you guys want Boba to go back to being anti-hero or antagonist? I feel like it's the vibe I'm getting.
So I don't necessarily think he needs to be a bad guy. He doesn't even have to be an anti-hero. He just has to behave like a crime lord, I think. Like he's not really doing that for me. Like he's doing the honorable thing. He's basically a good guy now. And it's just strange because, as I said in my video, like I don't think you can be a crime lord and be like a good guy. You can be respected. You can do good things. You can have a code of honor, but you can't 100% be a good guy. Another thing that I wanted to bring up that Alex was talking about is the Pikes. Like the Pikes have always been pushovers. They've never been like the most feared gangsters in the galaxy. And I think the show needed to give us a reason to fear the Pikes, like a horse's head in the bed moment, like in Godfather or something like that. And it really hasn't. I mean, even they didn't even kill the Tuskens. They had the biker gang do that. So it's, maybe we'll have some big reveal in the next 2 episodes that'll make me completely walk back like all my complaints. And like I honestly hope so. But I doubt it. But like I don't hate the show, guys. Like it's probably like a C+ for me. Honestly, like I definitely don't hate it. Like it's not The Last Jedi. It's not The Rise of Skywalker. it's a clear class above those for me.
Yeah, notice how you mentioned biker gang in Vespas that are super clean in a world like Tatooine where everyone's impoverished. It just really, that was like, I feel like the most tone deaf addition to this show. And I was talking to Zach about it too, Kat. Like, I think that they would have been really cool if they did that on Coruscant. Like the whole like bionic thing would have worked perfectly on Coruscant. But instead there's like a random little hut that is like all teched out and all futuristic in like a place that's extremely impoverished and very hot with a terrible climate. It's like, what's the supply chain like for that? And I was just kind of thinking like, this doesn't make any sense. I don't get it.
Even on the Halo ring, like put them on the Halo ring, like that looked like it could have had the Vespas there. Like just Tatooine doesn't fit. It just feels such a strange choice. Like that's really what it comes down to for me. It's not the Vespa, it's not the Vespas, it's not the bikers, the kids. It's just the location. It's just it contrasts so strangely to me.
I did feel like it was the kids themselves, because I think everyone had made such good points like on Twitter, like this show, when you thought about it, like Ming-Na Wen and Tamora Mars and like all of the cast up until those kids' entrance, I was like, all these like 50 plus people being showrunners. Like you don't need young, hip kids to like be badass. Like look at these two awesome actors who are not like in their 20s and they are carrying this show. And then they introduced those angsty teenagers who were just like the antithesis of Boba and Fennec, and I just felt very much like they're clashing. And then after like we saw the mod parlor and how Fennec got put back together, I felt a little bit more like, okay, this is relevant and applicable, but I still felt like you could introduce them in an entirely separate show or context. Like, I feel like I would appreciate them more, like, even if you just gave them all their own series of, like, these angsty kids who take their bodies apart and use their robotic skills. Like, I don't know. So I agree in that sense. Like, I felt like it was the kids personally that didn't seem congruent.
I almost feel like this is, sorry to interrupt. I almost feel like this is one of those instances where they need to do the tell, not show. Like they should have just told us how Fennec, was fixed and didn't even worry about going into it, because it wasted a lot of screen time from what we could have gotten something else, some more dialogue, some more Boba story, like just something. And it just seemed like it kind of took up a lot of that episode. We didn't really need it, but that's just me. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people might have liked it, or majority liked it. I don't know. I'm not gonna assume that my opinion is the majority, but from where I'm standing, I feel like it did not work.
It honestly felt like something we would have seen in like a filler episode of Rebels or something, like Ezra encounters like a youthful biker gang with flashy rides. Like that's what it felt like to me. It was just bizarre to see it in live action. But like I would say overall the show it's looked really good. The set design has been incredible. That Mandalorian episode was gorgeously shot. Like that I thought I was watching a movie at times. It just felt so much bigger than like even any other Mandalorian episode that we had seen. It was great.
Yeah, 1,000%. Now, how do you guys feel about, I mean, it seems like the general consensus is everyone is like, this episode has been my favorite, and poor Boba wasn't even in it. Yeah. Do you feel like that is a testament to how, I don't know, just to how popular Mando has become himself? Like he just steals the show because he has turned into such a well-developed character? Or is that speaking to they have yet to do the same with Boba in his own like show?
I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
Like I like Mando. He's a good character, but I didn't realize how excited I was to see him again until like he came through and it was like, oh, there's this theme, and I was like, yeah, let's go. And
yeah.
So like that on that front, it's like, yeah, like I was just really excited to see him. But also like when he cuts the dude in half and is like killing these people brutally, it's like Boba should be doing that too. Like that's like Boba Fett is the most badass bounty hunter in the galaxy. I know he's not a bounty hunter anymore, but like I want to see Boba tearing it up a little bit. I mean, let's like, come on.
You make a good point.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting. Awesome Com brings up a great point here. I was actually thinking about this the moment I saw Din Djarin. I'm like, why is it that Din and Fennec are more badass than Boba? Like, why in a show about Boba Fett, why is it that you care more about Fennec or almost you actually wish that maybe Fennec just takes over, because like Boba just kind of lost his cool factor or his mysterious factor, or just he just isn't written well, or he just seems very boring. And it's like it's kind of sad that I feel like that. At least for me personally, I don't know how you guys all feel about it, but it's just like Fennec's great. Like I love her character now, and I went in not liking her character originally. During Clone Wars I was like, why should I care? But then she has like a nice kind of story, and her acting is great, and just everything that she does is really cool. And then Boba just never fires a blaster the whole time and just talks about cooperation when it sounds like he's saying corporation. So I just, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if tomorrow was like, I can't do this, let's just keep it as simple as possible, or what. But I don't know. It bothers me. Hey, Brody, that's one of our roommates, guys.
Watch it from the other room.
I have a question for you guys, so basically, the way that they've kind of treated Boba Fett is as if it feels like a second season of a show. Like it feels like he's a very well-established character, but like he's really not when you think about it. Like he had 8 minutes of screen time, 6 minutes of screen time in the original trilogy. He said like 3 lines, and then we saw him as a kid, but a lot has changed since he was a kid. So I don't think we really know Boba Fett too well. And they kind of just jumped into this show as if he were Luke Skywalker or Anakin Skywalker or Padme, characters who had a lot of screen time. But I feel like they should have taken more care to introduce Boba Fett to us properly. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with that, or do you think they're doing it fine?
You make a good point, and I did think we were going to get more of that. The problem is he's like such a cryptic character, I feel like. And
so they could have done anything. They literally could have done anything. But
well,
they
did a little bit. Episode 1, and when he's like the first 5 minutes of the show are his flashbacks to the arena. Geonosis, like, oh my god, I'm blanking. His home planet, Slave
Kamino.
1 and Kamino. Yes, like we saw that montage, and I was like, this show is going to be a deep dive into his demons. And then we got the tree episode. I was like, this is it. Like, give us more. And I feel like they did a little bit of that to expose his vulnerability, but I don't think they went. They needed to do more showing and telling of that. I feel like they kind of sprinkled that in as look at his backstory, but didn't elaborate on how that's impacting him now, unless it's going to culminate still. I mean, we have 2 episodes left, so I feel like Boba's moment has yet to come, obviously, but they've kind of scratched the surface, so that makes sense. Like, we still have to develop his character, and then it's like the finale.
Yeah, I know. We developed his character, and then there's a finale, and it's like, oh,
but
let's
that's
go
the
to
thing.
Mandalorian
Like,
season 3.
We thought we were getting 3 more episodes, basically, but really, like with this Din episode where Boba wasn't even in it, now we just have 2 episodes to kind of expand on this character. So that was surprising to me.
He'll probably be in Mandalorian season 3. You know, I don't know, depending on how the events transpire. They're a really good trio, Mando, Fennec, and Boba. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Bertie, I was just thinking, I was like, why do I care more about the animated kid character as Boba than the actual live action version?
He was so annoying in Clone Wars, I feel like.
He was badass though. I mean, he was annoyingly badass.
He was such a
brat. All right, later, Aiden. Thanks for the support with the master member, and then we'll see you in the next one. Hopefully, I think we're gonna do it every Thursday. I think we're gonna do it Thursday, but that might change. But I think Thursdays are good for all of us. So we'll see. Anyway, so we established what we liked, what we didn't like. What would you guys give the series so far, without obviously the last couple episodes as a whole, not including the most recent episode because it wasn't even Boba Fett?
Even still, if this week's episode is void and doesn't count, I'd still give it like an 8.5 out of 10. I've really been loving it. I don't know, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm in a place, we're approaching a place with Star Wars where it's like, sure, it might not be perfect, but I'm at least glad we have it, like, and it still feeds into an overarching universe that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are trying to create. So I'm trying to take everything with a grain of salt, knowing that, like, if this show isn't for me, based on last night's episode, Mandalorian season 3 might be lit. Like, I feel like we've reached that point. in Star Wars. And I don't know, I think visually the show has been beautiful, and they've definitely taken risks. I mean, the Vespas, whether it paid off or not, you can see them trying new things, which I like. I want to see Star Wars branching out. The lizard trip like was totally different for the fandom, I feel like, and we had never gotten anything like that with any character before, and that was like so beautiful. So I appreciate the risk taking that they're doing with the show. So that's why it's ranking high for me.
Zach?
I would give it on a good day a 7, on a bad day probably a 6.
Okay.
So I'll call it a 6.5. I really loved the flashbacks. Like the flashbacks were probably my favorite part of the show, and I wish they had told it in order instead of cutting back and forth, because there was really no reason to do it when you think about it. Like we establish his motivation early on when the Tuscans die, but the way that they had it structured is we don't find that out until episode 4. Like we don't find out why he's doing what he's doing until episode 4, which is over halfway through the series, which is kind of crazy to me. But at the same time, like, yeah, it is Star Wars, man. I love Star Wars. So anything Star Wars is going to boost it a couple points. It's just not as good as it could be. And I wish they had taken more inspiration from gangster movies like The Godfather or Breaking Bad or The Sopranos or Goodfellas. Like they have so much to draw on, and it just feels like they didn't to me. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd give it a 7 too, and I wasn't a 7.5 until the episode before Mando came. It just kind of progressively got worse for me, and it was kind of upsetting. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like I wasn't, when I first saw that it was announced, I wasn't like, oh, this is going to be like the greatest. Did we get a WATTO yet? Not yet. After we're done the Book of Boba Fett, we'll have Zach do his WATTO. But I give it a 7. You guys already know my reasoning why. Everything involved with Robert Rodriguez, I think, shouldn't be in Star Wars, but that's my opinion on it. I'm sure he's done other great things. The only thing I know him for is really Spy Kids, and that's kind of all I really saw here. And that kind of was like, okay, it's Spy Kids, I guess. But
hey, man,
whatever.
Spy Kids is a masterpiece.
Yeah, don't shade Spy Kids.
But it's not. But you can't just add Spy Kids into Star Wars.
No,
so it's like,
Yeah.
so it's like Robert always needs to have kids involved, which is fine. We can have kids involved. Just have it be Star Wars. And I think that's my only thing. I don't really think that Dave is really involved in this series. And like the only episode that really felt like immersion and obviously directed by someone who isn't Robert Rodriguez from Bryce Dallas Howard. I thought that the Mando episode in Book of Boba Fett was the only episode that I actually watched completely and was like, I want to watch it again. I haven't seen a single episode yet that I was like, I want to watch it again, except for maybe the first episode of Book of Boba Fett with the flashback of escaping the Sarlacc pit. That was pretty cool. But I mean, that's about it for me.
They knew what they were doing too, because they played the Mando theme at the title sequence of the Book of Boba Fett. Like, they knew, like, yeah, this is basically Mandalorian season 3, episode 1.
To speak to Zach's point, though, because I agree with you, like I was anticipating that this was going to be more grit. I think we all were like assuming it was going to be like exploring darker underworld, seedy, the crime world aspect of Star Wars. And it kind of hit me. I was like, with TV 14 or whatever the Disney Plus rating is, it's like, I feel like that hinders how far they can take the darkness of this show and like the gangster, like mobster-esque, like
they cut a dude in half.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking
exactly.
that, but then Mando literally like chopped that guy in half this week. So now I'm like, okay, what's the excuse? Like I was previously like, all right, I guess they have to make this family friendly here and not go full blown like Breaking Bad on all of us. But after that, now it's just like, okay, are they going to unleash a little bit in the final episodes? Like, I don't know.
Like after this, do you even want to see Tamora Morrison play Rex or Cody? Do you even really want to see that?
Yes, because they're different characters.
Yeah, but it's like,
are you not happy with his performance?
I don't like it. I think he has good moments, but overall I just don't like it. I feel like it's very stagnant and robotic, and I was like, this isn't what he's capable of, at least in my opinion. I mean, he was better in Attack of the Clones. It just feels like he's going through the motions, or it feels like he's just not invested in the character, or something. It just felt weird. I mean, maybe he likes Rex and Cody more. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe
I
he's
feel
excited to
like
do them.
I think he's having he looks like he's having a good time. I think
He
he's
looks
having
like,
a
I
good
mean,
time.
I guess he does look like he's having a good time, but I think at the expense of maybe actually focusing. I don't know. It just seems like it's really all based off of his mannerisms and how he reacts to things rather than what he says.
Mm.
And
I feel like
I don't know.
I think I saw like an interview clip where he was originally saying, or he had looked at the script, or they were in the middle of filming a scene like on set, and Tamora was like, I feel like I'm speaking too much. Like I feel like I'm too like I feel like Fennec should have all this dialogue because I'm the crime lord. Like I feel like this isn't right for my character to be talking like so much. So I don't know. That watching that, I felt like, yeah, he like knows who Boba is. Like he's in tune with his character. But that's like a good point. It's like, you know, he was such a I want to know what happened. How did he go from being like the bratty teenager that he was to like the very like reserved, chill dude that he
Stoic.
is now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
what happened to you? I feel like that's kind of part of his storyline that I want.
Well, the
to
whole Tusken
see.
Raiders thing, I guess, kind of explained why he is who he is and how he's like all about honor now or whatever. But it just, I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like he needed to be more distinctly anti-hero or villain, like kind of villain-esque at like when he initially came out of the Sarlacc pit, like when he was first captured by the Tuskens. He needed to, I think, act more like a villain, and then over time we see him make this change, and I think that would have worked for me. It felt like he was with the Tuskens for like a week though, and apparently it was years, which was strange because I didn't feel that personally.
It didn't feel like it was a long period of time. Yeah,
No,
I agree.
because after they stopped the train, it felt like a couple days later he's like, I'm gonna go into Mos Eisley or Mos Espa, and I'm gonna check in on the Pikes, and then as soon as he comes back, they're all dead, all the Tuskens, and that just felt really quick to me, and it did not feel like years at all.
Yeah, I guess the bulk of the time was during his like training before the lizard trip.
Yeah.
Action, but even that felt like very like they immediately had some respect for him following episode 1 when he like defeats that sand Godzilla. I forgot about that.
That thing was gnarly.
Yeah, that was definitely different. So yeah, I think everyone was a little bit like, whoa, it's been five years, because it didn't. But maybe you guys have a good point. Maybe if they'd actually done the chronological order, or said like I don't care if you flash on the screen like 5 years later or something like that to show the passage of time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Alex, you look so sad.
Yeah.
Alex looks really
you need to go to the Polynesian spa, my friend.
Yeah, we need to have all those memes installed on this. I want to be able to play. I really feel like playing Polynesian spa just to make me feel better. But I mean, you never know. Apparently they said there's a big surprise in Book of Boba, so we'll see. Like where I guess there's what, 2 more? How many more is left? I don't know. 2 more. 2 more. 2 more. Laugh.
I feel like have they already spoiled it though with like the seeds planted in this week's episode? Like if we're gonna go see Grogu, like are we gonna see Luke Skywalker too? Like I feel like if they were gonna have that as a big surprise, it's like, is that your big reveal and you've already teased it, or is there something even more epic somehow like on top of that as well?
I don't think it makes sense for this show though. Like they would completely have lost focus if they decided to like have Mando go visit Grogu in this show. I took it as like that would happen in Mandalorian season 3, but is there enough time for them to just have Mando go see Grogu randomly?
Yeah,
like that doesn't have anything to do with Boba.
Like, it just seems like Mando's gonna help Boba. They're gonna win. Then Mando's gonna be like, I need to go see a friend or something, and then it's gonna end there. And then we're gonna see Mando season 3, where he goes to visit everything. But I don't know. I don't see him going to see Grogu in this series. I think that would be kind of overkill. I think they'd be like, we can't have Boba be his own character, so let's just have Mando for 3 episodes. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think they want to do that.
You guys are crushing my hopes and dreams right now. Stop. If they no, they cannot tease that.
We clicked that at the same time. Yeah, 2 Star Wars splits. Yeah. Well, we all agreed that it was, but it literally was. Yeah, season 3, episode 1 of Mando. That's literally what it was. It wasn't Book of Boba Fett at all. And I don't know why no one's really addressing that. They're like, "Oh, it was the best Book of Boba Fett episode." It's like, dude, Fennec showed up talking about how Boba wanted his help at the very end. But I mean, I think seeing the Starfighter. Oh, I don't know if what you guys think, but the Naboo Starfighter is my favorite ship in Star Wars. So when I saw it, I was like, dude. At first, weirdly, I don't know, because of the color, I thought it was like scrapped of Anakin's pod racer or something. And then I realized, oh wait, no, it's not the pod racer, it's the Starfighter. I felt like really dumb in that moment, and then I realized that later on. I'm like, oh, that's so cool, the Naboo Starfighter, and it's like old school. They're talking about how it's like old school, like old classic cars. I thought that was really funny how they kind of implemented that. But it's like, this isn't Boba Fett, this is Mando, and that's why it literally shows Mando is like Din Djarin's way better than Boba Fett right now.
I agree with what the Stanleys is saying here. I think that he's gonna go see Grogu. We're just not gonna see it until Mando season 3, and then he's gonna, like, in the last episode, it's not gonna be going well for Boba Fett and his boys and Fennec, and then Mando's gonna like swoop in with his Starfighter and mess some shit up. That's what that's my prediction. You can't do that to
me. You can't do that.
They're gonna do it to you, Kat. They're gonna do it to you.
They're gonna have, what up, Grogu?
No,
yeah, Grogu just comes in and just starts trashing the place.
he just has a little mini lightsaber already.
Oh my gosh, no, that would be so.
He just does flips already.
He's doing Yoda from Attack of the Clones.
Oh my God.
I couldn't handle that. I'd lose my shit too much.
I'd cry.
Yeah, we cry together. We'll hold each other.
We'll hold each other. It'll be a sweet moment.
BD from Fallen Order. Yeah, I thought we were gonna see Cal Kestis for 2 seconds.
Kira gonna appear?
That's possible. That's possible.
Wait, is Crimson? Yeah, because this is Crimson Dawn. Like
no, it's not. It's not, but it could be like secretly. We just don't know because there's been so much time in between the last time we saw Kira. Like, she could be in charge of the Pikes now, and we just don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Austin Crum's killing it right now.
He is, dude. He's full.
I like their profile picture.
They also said he wanted to see him first before helping Boba.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I don't think. Oh, yeah. Wait, he did. Oh, that's.
Well, he's at first. I gotta see a little friend or something.
That is gonna be so savage on their part. If they can't, I'll never forgive them if that's actually what they do. If they tease that he's got to go do that first. No, I can't. All right. I also have hope that the final 2 episodes are both going to be like an hour each, maybe an hour plus. I don't know if they're going to breach the 50-minute time frame that we've had for some of these longer episodes, but I think the final 2 definitely have to be like 50 plus minutes.
Oh, for sure.
To have some time. So maybe that's what I'm holding on to hope. I'm like, if the final episodes are long enough, we can still go see Grogu. I can't. They cannot. No, I can't.
Really quick. Later, Jared, who's the special guest, though? That's what I'm curious about. Because it's been us 3 the entire time.
It's just
been so long. It's just been so long since we've had a stream that I guess people forgot what the original trio looked like.
Who the trio
We're
is.
all special guests, guys. All of us.
Yeah, we're just all very special. That's so funny. Oh my God.
None of us are the host. We're all just the special guests.
Yeah. There's no
Our names
host.
aren't appearing though. Or are they?
They're not.
Interesting. So how would he know who's special? Anyway, I think that closes out our Boba discussion. I think we've kind of said everything we need to say. What do you guys like? I guess in the chat you guys can leave your rates. What would you rate, I guess, the series so far as a whole? You can either include episode 5 or not include episode 5, but has it been 4 months? Holy shit.
We did kind of drop off. I don't think we did it after October.
Basically, as
after
soon
my
as
birthday,
Bad Batch
or no, my birthday came around, and then we just didn't do it again.
Yeah,
for a long time.
Gosh darn it, that was the catalyst. Just cancel your birthday next time.
I just had a bender for 4 months. I was off traveling for 4 months.
5 out of 10.
That kind of matches what me and Zach have been saying. This is the Stanley's is more Cat's vibe.
Yeah. Show me the 9 out of 10s, peeps. Oh my gosh.
8 out of 10, episode 5. Honestly, I think episode 5 was like a 9, dude. That was like
Episode
such a
5
fun
was
episode.
Great.
It was such a great episode. And then Colin, our loyal viewer, we haven't forgotten you, dude. Don't you worry. Same with Charlie.
10 out of 10. Charlie's always got good energy. Yes, I knew he would love it.
I wish I could be as positive as Charlie. Like
Charlie's our Zen master.
I wish I love Star Wars. I wish I could love it even more.
9.5 Inferno. What took away the 0.5? What didn't you like to give it a 10, man?
Yeah, that's a good
You're in
question.
the hot seat now.
Maybe Boba's not in it. Like that was kind of weird. That's the only thing I could think of that's wrong with that episode.
It was really funny because I saw Fennec and I was like, dude, why isn't Fennec the main character in the show? Like I was like super into it. And I'm like, I don't even want to see Boba now. Like we have enough Mandalorian information. Yes, it was, dude.
That was so
my god. Have you seen? I don't know if I've sent you this yet, Zach, but have you seen like that edit where it was like a Mario Kart sound effects with the music playing? Oh, no. Dude, it works great, and that just shows you how bad it was. It was really slow. I feel like it was way too slow.
It was way too slow.
Being a Star Wars.
Yeah. It was like
no, they were not.
I think they're joking. Yeah, Tom would agree with you. Fables of Fennec.
Book of Boba, but no Boba. Yeah. Basically. That seems to be the synopsis. I don't know if like maybe they had like a whole story with just him in it and they edited it together and they're like, we should only just make this like 4 or 5 episodes and just have 1 episode of Mando to like make it not boring. I wonder if that's what they were thinking. I don't know.
I feel like we're all going to be eating our words. I don't know. I have high hopes for this finale. Yeah.
I would love to eat my words.
I only eat my words, so we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, so it seems like I guess the average is like maybe like a 6 or a 7, like including all of ours and everyone else's, which isn't terrible, but it's like it's Star Wars, and we're hoping from Star Wars fans that we'd give it a 9 or an 8. But cat wise, it's an 8. Me and Zach definitely not, but we'll see. Vespa was 100 cc for sure. Yes, it was.
That
Dave Filoni
scene
episode is
felt
next. Ooh.
Yeah. But the Vespa chase scene, it felt like if you've ever had those dreams where you're like running from something and you're trying to go fast, but like you just can't, and you're so frustrated with how slow you're going. That's how that scene felt to me.
Stop! That's actually so true. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to unsee that now. Whenever I watch that, you're kind of right though.
Also, someone brought up a point. I remember they were like that Bad Batch episode where it was just all about Hera and Ryloth was like very similar to how they kind of just did a Mando episode. Yeah. I wonder if that's going to be like a thing where like if they don't, I don't know if that's intentional or they just don't know what to do, so they'll just kind of add a character that everyone likes as an episode. I don't know if that's lazy or if that's smart. I don't know if they're going to keep doing that in Star Wars, but that is true. That did bring up a nice point.
At least there
was an episode not even about Bad Batch.
At least they worked the Bad Batch into that episode, though. They did show up. Like Boba Fett.
Oh yeah, they did. That's true.
He was not in this episode. And literally every scene, I was like, "Is Boba Fett gonna show up? Is Boba Fett gonna show up?"
Yeah.
Like when he gets in the elevator, is Boba Fett gonna be waiting for him in the elevator? Like, and he just never showed up. I think we've pretty much covered the Book of Boba Fett, and we'll have to revisit this obviously next week and then the week after. But I don't know if you guys saw, there's a few Star Wars games that got announced. EA Respawn. First of all, we had the Fallen Order sequel, which is probably almost done.
Yes.
And then we have a strategy game. I don't know if it's going to be like a real-time strategy game, like your sweet love StarCraft,
like
Alex.
StarCraft 2.
Like StarCraft 2. I don't know. It might be like that. And then we have a non-Battlefront 3 first-person shooter. that's all that we know about that. And it's being helmed by the guy who executive produced the original Battlefronts back in the early 2000s. So that's interesting. But it is not Battlefront 3. So
Okay.
Whoa.
Can you talk more? I
Jedi.
actually did not hear about any of that. Do you know anything else about the new Battlefront, or not the new Battlefront? I should say.
well, no, they're really vague about it.
Okay.
Just that it's not Battlefront 3. There are no plans to do Battlefront 3, which, I mean, I have mixed feelings about that because I didn't really play Battlefront 2. You did, Kat. I know that you've played that. It's a good game, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like
I
now
play
it
Battlefront
is.
2 a lot too. I enjoy Battlefront 2.
Yeah,
It's
I
easy.
would like the third change of pace, different maps. But I mean, if we only ever get Battlefront 2, I'm not going to be upset. You know, I mean, I would like new. I'm glad to see that they're doing new other things. I think it's about time we get a Jedi Fallen Order sequel. Although I'm really like curious based on things that I've been hearing that it's maybe not even gonna follow. It's gonna follow a completely different story, like not even gonna follow Cal Kestis anymore, which
Really?
I hope isn't the case. I don't trust me. I saw that on Twitter, so we know how unreliable of a source that is. But whenever I see it on Twitter, I'm like, it must be real. I hope that's not the case because I feel like the best part of Jedi Fallen Order was Cal Kestis, like, is a phenomenal character. So I don't know if they can create an equally exciting character and storyline. I'll be excited. I mean, I'm excited either way, but I was a little bit dismayed to see that it might branch off into an entirely different thing. Who knows?
Yeah, I
that'd
mean,
be
I'm a big fan
interesting.
of Cal Kestis and that whole story there. So I'm all about it. It was just I remember when I played Battlefront 2. Well, at least when I was playing it, they were like adding a bunch of new things to it. So I mean, Cat's gaming.
Yeah, not fun.
Cat's just way too pro for everyone, so she doesn't play anymore. Really, like she just beats everyone. It's like she doesn't even try, and she still wins.
Why
So.
I stopped.
Yeah, her KD is like 30 kills for every 2 deaths, so she just
She
is
doesn't
too good
die.
for
I
everyone.
don't know what you're talking about.
She's like international. Yeah, she dies a couple of times. I actually witnessed a couple of her deaths, but it's
you
mostly,
witnessed the
it's
only
mostly,
two.
Yeah. The
I
only two
am-
ever. She's internationally ranked and just always wins. But
Just call me
you know.
Ninja. Star Wars Ninja.
Yeah. But literally, I had fun with it. I just played it when it was like in a process of getting better, and I got kind of tired of it because it was pretty easy, and you get I don't know, bored pretty easy. So
Battlefront
I
2?
stopped. Yeah, I played the deathmatch one where it was all about kills and not just a bunch of chaos.
Yeah.
So you would just go in there and go 20-3 or 20-5 and then just win, and it was really easy. So I stopped playing for a little bit and then played something else, which Zach is very familiar with, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that they should just kind of keep updating Battlefront 2 because it's a very nice looking game and it's fun to play now. So like as we get new Star Wars content, I think they should just keep adding maps and characters. Like put Ahsoka in there, put Asajj Ventress in there, put Fennec in there. Like there's a ton of characters they can add. And they don't necessarily have to make a third one because what are you really going to do? You're going to reuse most of the same maps. You're probably going to reuse most of the mechanics anyway. So yeah, just keep adding stuff. I don't think you necessarily have to make a Battlefront 3, in my opinion. But I am very curious.
It is kind of the all-encompassing like game. You don't really need to add any more.
Yeah.
So I agree. Also, I didn't realize this was that Inferno. There's like 3 different Infernos I think that follow. But appreciate it, man. Yeah, I know. Like editing is really, a passion of mine. I'm glad you share the same passion. Hopefully, you keep following what you want to do, and good things happen. It's really what it's all about. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna continue editing. Well, no, wait. Microsoft just bought? Didn't Microsoft just buy Activision and EA and Blizzard?
Well, not EA. They bought Activision and Blizzard.
Oh, gotcha. Starcraft 3. Yay.
Oh my god.
We're not here to talk about that. God, you have a problem.
Zach probably hears about this all day. He's like,
I need to start streaming it. I definitely need to start streaming it so I can monetize the amount of hours I spend doing it.
Yes.
But like, I'm really curious, like if this first-person shooter is going to be, if it's going to be like Republic Commandos, or if it's going to be story-driven FPS, or if it's gonna be kind of like a Battlefront-esque kind of game, or if it's gonna be like a hero shooter or something like that. It's just there's so many directions they could take with this. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I agree.
When are we expecting Throwback the Ubisoft open world one? I mean, I keep putting that on the back burner in my mind, but like that's not coming out for like forever, right?
Wait, Eclipse or
no,
or
not.
Oh, dude, Eclipse! We totally haven't talked about Eclipse. Eclipse
know.
looks so good.
I was gonna say, yeah, like that was some of the greatest Star Wars content I think I've ever seen.
I know.
They just dropped that out of nowhere. I was like, how could they just put this on us? Yeah, no, I agree. That was like mind blowing.
I think it surprised literally everyone.
Yeah.
No one was like, they're like, what the hell? Is this a series? Like,
Everybody
anime?
probably
What the
went
hell
into it like, all right, let's watch this trailer. And then we were all like, ugh.
And then they were like, you're not going to see this for 4 years, so don't worry,
Yeah.
guys. Like, God damn it.
We're going to be like 30 by the time that game comes out.
Hopefully it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. We need to switch this. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So I did see a report from Jason Schreier, who's like a video games journalist. He said that Fallen Order 2 could be out this year, probably later this year or early next year. So that's going to be the first one of these 3 to come out. So we shouldn't have to wait too long for that one.
It's been a long time coming.
It came out, what, 2018, 2019? Was it 19?
Might have been.
It feels like
it's all a blur at this point. I don't even know what's happening. So
anything before 2020 was a millennia ago. So
that's true.
That's
or
how
it
my
just feels
brain
like yesterday. Like I forget how long we've been in the pandemic, but it feels like it's only been like, I don't know, a year sometimes. But then I realized, oh shit, it's been like over 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what? You know?
It was 2019, by the way.
I think okay. I think that's just all part of just being an adult. Time kind of moves faster, I guess. I don't know. Don't hold your breath about Eclipse. Company making it is having difficulties. Well, I would expect them to. I'd want them to have difficulties making a great game. Hopefully, they bypass the difficulties and make it what they need it to be. If they need more time, they need more time. Like Infinite was great. I don't know if you guys are Halo fans, but I played the campaign of Infinite and it felt like an actual Halo game as opposed to 4 and 5. So if they need more time, they need more time. They shouldn't rush it. That's how I see it.
Well, I think they're also having leadership drama. There was a lot of backlash.
That seems to be happening everywhere in every game studio. So you know.
Yeah.
Creative differences. Creatives are a bunch of assholes, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much creative differences as much as the. I don't want to get into it. It's a lot of.
Ooh, get into it. You have beef that I don't know.
People in positions of power having politically incorrect views. Let's put it that way. Are either of you on Twitter?
No.
Star Wars Twitter? Oh, am I the only representative of Star Wars Twitter? Yeah, there's.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter.
There's kind of a movement to boycott.
What is Twitter?
Honestly, consider yourself lucky that you're not on there.
Yeah.
It's a void. But.
Yeah, it's just a lot of negativity and drama that I'm glad I'm not a part of, because there's already a lot of that everywhere else and in literally everyday life. So the less drama, the better.
It's kind of nice. I like to go on there like after an episode airs. With Star Wars these days, I never know if it's like I love something and everybody else hates it, which seems to be the case here. So it's like, all right, I need to go on Twitter and see like how people are thinking about this. So that's my main source of entertainment from it.
When's this is total sidebar. When's Star Wars Celebration?
May? April?
You guys know exactly?
I literally signed up to be on like a wait list for when they release tickets.
I'm gonna
May
see like
26th to Sunday, May 29th.
And when do you know when tickets are released? Because I think we should definitely all try to go.
No, I'm trying so hard to go.
I'll definitely I'll ask Amanda and see if we might have already gotten tickets. I don't even know, dude. I'm so confused about when it actually releases, but they refunded a lot of tickets for people who already had tickets for that one that was canceled, right?
Yeah, or they let people hold on to them, which is why I'm like like
Oh, we're probably
people
not
who
going to get
chose
tickets
to,
then.
yeah, like still have their tickets carried over. So I'm
Because
like,
that would be
when
like a
is
great time for all of us to like hang out. That'd be
I
so
know.
cool. I'm pretty sure Theory's going to be there too,
Well,
right?
also
And
the
pretty much everyone else.
material this year. I mean, there's probably going to be, depending on, I don't know if Andor is coming out between now and then, but Kenobi
Yeah.
probably is coming out after. Like, I'm sure there's going to be
Yeah.
Kenobi content there or a trailer
Yeah.
drop or something.
Yeah, it'd be so cool to be live in that audience for that.
Like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
We can dream, folks. We can dream.
Everybody manifest this for
Yeah.
us, please.
If we
Speak
don't
it
make
into
it,
existence.
we'll just have our own Star Wars celebration.
Yeah, Zach, if we're like in line on that thing, we'll just see if we can get 3 tickets for it, so we can get you one too. Because like I
Okay.
like need to get. I need to
You
get
have a
these tickets.
connection.
I do have a connection to be able to go. I can ask if he has an extra ticket, but I don't know if he will. He probably won't, or if he just doesn't go, he might not even go. I mean, he's just all over the place. He probably won't even go.
Well,
Yeah, Theory does pretty much everything. I mean, he kind of has to, dude. Like, there's no way he's not.
Yeah, it's his
you know?
job.
Yeah, he probably
He
gets a press pass and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jinx.
You know, Minnesota, haha.
Yeah.
Or a margarita, either way.
Andor won't be out by Celebration. Yeah, is anything else coming out between end of Book of Boba and Celebration?
I don't think so.
That's such a long stretch.
Yeah.
There's no movie.
heard,
yeah, there's no film.
Yeah.
So is it just games?
I don't even think a game's gonna come out. There's nothing.
It's Lego Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
I think that's it.
Oh, so are we just gonna have to stream Lego Star Wars on our
Yes. Honestly, it looks fucking awesome.
So we're probably just gonna do that on the stream then. That sounds like fun. We should game more on this. That actually would be fun. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, would you guys watch that? Let us know if you would watch.
Yeah, would you watch us all game? I mean, you would still see us kind of our faces, but like to have all 3 of us play a game together, that'd be fun. I would love that.
Oh god.
I guess the only thing we have left on the agenda is the Galactic Cruiser is a complete dumpster fire.
Oh.
Everything that comes out about this kind of just hammers the nail in deeper. It just makes it seem worse and worse and worse.
This is the $8,000 one for like a 2-night stay, right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Yeah. I've honestly not paid much attention to.
You haven't seen anything about this, Kat?
I've seen people bashing it. I didn't really dig deep into why. As soon as I saw that it was $1 bajillion, I was like, well, I'm never gonna go. So I kind of just stopped paying attention.
Yeah, well, it'll make you not want to spend $1 bajillion. I was like just talking to Zach. I was like, in Mando episode, in Boba episode 5, Mando gets in the elevator and goes up and then enters into like this little like kind of entertainment area. And I was like, if they would have marketed it like this, like if it looks like this, I'm pretty sure there would have been really good response. But no, they did some really weird thing where like they marketed it as if it was like created by a bunch of people who are tone deaf about sci-fi, and also just they think everything is Star Trek, and then everything is like, oh, let's just get like the most cliche thing that we can do, and then have her sing a song, and then all of a sudden have like
in their grandma's basement with a green screen too. Like it looks so bad. Every single piece of marketing material I've seen for this thing, it looks amateurish, and like you said, it doesn't look like they've even seen Star Wars. Like,
oh my gosh,
it looks like generic sci-fi.
Yeah,
I haven't watched any of it. Didn't they take one down? Didn't people bully them so hard to the point that they actually like revoked one of the things that they released? I don't know.
I don't know if it's bullying if you don't even know who your demographic is and who your audience is. Like they didn't do their due diligence to really make sure that content spoke to people who are actual Star Wars fans. Like I think people who didn't know Star Wars would look at that and be like, "Oh, I guess that's kind of cool." But people who are Star Wars fans looked at that and they're like, "Dude, what the fuck is this?" You know, like it was just the most.
Even Charlie says it was bad.
Yeah,
you know it's bad if Charlie says it.
Yeah, it's the definition of being tone deaf about your own audience. Like I couldn't get over. Like their creative director must not know Star Wars. Like I was like seeing like the whole like everything about it was like centered around the creative director, and then having some actor from the Goldbergs kind of showcase it. And then there was like the little message that you sent if you did reserve something, where it was like this really bad, low quality looking, not only
Fine, but
Whoa, dude, your audio. He's
No,
gone.
what just happened? Whoa, that was very trippy.
Yeah,
That's how
but
bad it was. It made Alex drop off just talking about it. So
I don't even know if it were like a seventh of the price that I would go with what I've seen. It's
Oh my.
that bad.
Yeah, I definitely think that the audacity, I feel like that was a bad sign, a bad omen in general when they dropped the price tag and everyone was just like, oof. Like introducing with that expense and then following up with poor marketing was not a good not a good incentive. I don't know. I'm
No.
excited to like see all the actual rich YouTubers who are gonna get to go for free or whatever and do vlogs
Yeah.
of it. I'm excited for that. Like whatever content they share, maybe it'll have a different look when it's coming from like a fan's lens. I don't know, versus just like marketing. Who knows? But
It just doesn't make sense, because you'd think that if they're trying to market towards rich people, they would make it look like something that doesn't look like crap. That rich people are gonna be like, oh, I definitely want to go to this luxurious Star Wars hotel experience. Instead,
That's
it
so
looks like
disappointing.
yeah, it does look like Star Trek. It doesn't look like Star Wars.
No, that's
And that's
surprising
all.
because didn't they release? I thought they released like art models, friggin' like concept art for what it was gonna look like. And that those images looked really cool. I feel like I saw like your hotel room like literally looks like you're like on a ship. Isn't it also though like you don't leave once you're there? Like
Yeah.
the entire experience is confined to that
Mhm.
space. Which I don't know how I feel about that. Like if it's like a super awesome resort that literally has anything that you could want, then sure. But I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's strange. I remember I think Theory was talking about how they should have made like a Jedi temple and a Sith temple, and like you could choose which one you wanted to go to, and you kind of did like training for each, and that sounds pretty cool. Like that, like you get your own robes, you get to build your own lightsaber. Maybe they
Oh my
have some kind
God.
of like they could like simulate you using the Force somehow with technology or something. Like that'd be really cool. Like instead they have like this Star Cruiser thing, and they spent like $7 on the budget.
That
To
sounds like too
advertise.
good to be true. I mean, what even is there to do on there aside from like what are the attractions? Like I'm sure there's got to be like a cantina-esque bar thing, right? But like what else is there? Do we even know beyond that? I should probably just watch the marketing
Let me
because I don't know.
see if I can see a list of things. Highlights. But this is, yeah, I mean, it looks like there's a giant restaurant. It looks cool. Like you're right, the concept art looks really cool, but none of the actual live action stuff that we've seen has remotely been that cool.
Oh no. Oh no.
Fulcrum's in the house.
What is that?
The meme lord.
Rogue Disney says the itinerary looks like a kid made it, plus lots of upcharges. Oh, that's not good.
Is it? It's like $7,000, right? Is that, or is it 8?
So. For like 2 nights. He's back.
Somehow, AD Edits has returned. And
No.
he's gone.
No. You have to save up an entire life's worth of money to stay 2 nights. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that only would be worth it if, again, you were like a YouTuber and you could get some return on it. If it was a life-changing, life-altering experience. Like, people don't even spend that much money to go to actual, like, Disneyland, right? Not including, like, hotels
there we go.
and airline.
So I have the pricing up. So 2 guests per
Lord.
cabin, it's $1,200 per guest per night, or $4,800 for the voyage total. For 3 guests per cabin, it's $5,299 for the whole voyage, and for 4 guests, it is about $6,000. So it's like, what the hell?
So you get a bit of a deal if you go with like more people, but still, ugh. That's
It's
a
my
lot.
man Fulcrum. Sorry, dude, I saw you. My AirPods died, so I had to go charge them for a little bit. I was hoping they would last the whole time, but
you can't film after the media event, says Rogue Disney. Meaning there's no filming in there allowed at all. You can't even vlog. You can't even vlog to go and then post a YouTube video to get some of your money back.
No, because then all of the plebes who don't have all that money can live vicariously through you.
Oh my god.
And they
all
don't
of us
want
poor
that.
people.
True, they don't want that. They want you to spend the money.
I hate that. I'm sorry, that's just so designed against people who don't have the budget to go.
Fulcrum is just independently wealthy. I don't know if you guys realize that.
He's
worth
Jeff
millions of
Bezos.
dollars. So yeah, he's actually Jeff Bezos.
Jeffrey
That's the whole point.
Bezos. Jeffrey.
That's a no. Yeah.
No way.
No.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, like I said, like, yeah. I mean, I saw a comment there where they said they were trying to be like Star Tours and they failed. And they did. Like, I think they were trying to go for like an in-between Star Wars and then like kind of Disney. But like they kind of just went Star Trek and it was really bad. And there wasn't any immersion that I saw from it. They were like, what makes Star Wars Star Wars? And I looked at like a couple of videos and a couple of things about a bar, a cantina. They saw some like characters like, oh, let's just do that. And then it was like extremely like tone deaf. You know, they don't require uniforms. I think it would have been cool if you like the moment you arrive, you get to choose like kind of what, I don't know, whether you want to be a smuggler, a pilot, or whatever it is that you want to do, and then you like get that outfit that you want, like, and then you're a part of like the whole, because like you're paying so much money for it. Why wouldn't they be able to provide that for you? It's like, I don't know. It just seems like they're a quick money grab with low budget, and that's Disney for you. So,
basically, Star Wars Westworld. We're talking like Westworld here.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens in the show. You get off the train, you pick out an outfit, and then you're in it. But like, honestly, for true like fans, that's like all we want in life. Like, I don't even care. I want to pretend I'm in Star Wars for a hot minute. So
I want to get my hand cut off by a Dark Lord, and you know, I will pay $7,000 to do that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I kind of want to experience what it's like to be burned alive, personally.
Pay an extra $1,000 for the Skywalker sirloin.
Yeah. Just imagine if it's like Anakin getting burnt, like whatever it's called. Like,
it just shows him.
You're like, you just get to watch it all happen. Like Hayden's just there like one day. Like, you guys want to see it? Only he actually gets burned, and then we're like, oh crap, he actually did get burned.
Try your hand at defeating the high ground, and you like jump on a trampoline and try to flip over you, and he just cuts you in half.
Like he actually cuts you in half, and you're like, oh my god, this is so authentic. I love it.
I feel like I'm dying.
Where's the fire? And they just like throw like magma on you. And it's like, yes, I love it.
They pour gasoline on you and just light you on fire.
That's why it's so expensive. They gotta pay for all their life insurance.
Yeah.
All the liability.
Murder ain't cheap, yo.
But anyway, on that note, I mean, we've reached our hour mark. I think we're going to be pretty strict to our time unless we're doing watch parties. But hopefully you guys enjoyed us coming back. We want to keep doing this hopefully every Thursday, and then just have continually crack up every single time.
I'm sorry, murder ain't cheap. What a line to end up on. Well,
we are probably, hopefully, maybe we're going to get into gaming for at some point. If there's nothing to talk about, we could probably just stream some games together. That'd be fun. Let us all know. Just keep supporting us as you are, and we'll keep doing our thing. We're going to be consistent again, hopefully every week. Let us know what time works for you too in the comments after this stream ends, so that you know. We know kind of what to aim for like everyone to be able to watch us live. But yeah, again, we miss you, Charlie, Colin, Fulcrum, awesome calm. I don't know if you've been here before, but you know, you really contributed well. Andrew too, that's still been in this. Rogue Disney,
like a panther. Like I've
But anyway, it's first with all you guys, and much love. Thank you, the Stanleys. We'll catch you guys all next week.
Wizard.